What's going on? Game week 18. It's Christmas time. I actually, I've got a change to make. I'm going to put on a Christmas jumper for this one. Bear with me just a second. I've got an Adidas jumper on at the moment, but it's Christmas time, isn't it? So I'm going to put a Christmas jumper on. Bear with. I hope everyone's doing good. I got some new glasses today. I don't know if you can tell the difference between these and my last pair, but my last pair, one of the arms fell off when I was at the football last weekend. So yeah, I've got a new pair of glasses. That's quite exciting. Colin, I just don't have the time to make Sky content anymore, I'm afraid, mate. Quite simply, I've got a separate channel, but I just not had the time. I do talk a bit about Sky on the deadline streams, though. But yeah, here we're going to go through the top players for expected points by position, bit of info on the captaincy, clean sheet odds, my team. I'll look at people's teams in Draft Hound. You send me your team name and FPL ID and I'll have a review on Draft Hound. Check out Twitter, see if you've got any team leaks, squad leaks, etc. And I've got a little quiz as well. I've done 5 quiz questions. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Yeah, sorry about that, Colin. It's just is what it is, I'm afraid, bud. Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate that. They feel a little bit... I know non-glasses owners would probably not understand this one, but when you wear glasses every day, a minute change to like the shape of the frames, etc., just looks really weird. So at the moment, it feels weird. But they are really comfortable and are a really like sturdy like build. So hopefully the issues I had with my last pair of glasses won't repeat themselves. But yeah, I appreciate the compliment, mate. Hope you're doing good. Just going to crack my Christmas jumper on a second. Don't worry, I've got a t-shirt on underneath, so we're not going to be breaking any nudity rules. I'll take my glasses off. Here we go. Here we go. By the way, the jumper is a snowman. Oh, hang on. Going down a ramp to the pub. There you go. It's the first time I've donned it, but it's got to be done, hasn't it, for the Christmas stream. Right, I hope everyone's good. I'm going to quickly show you my team at the moment. Here we are. Thanks to the Solanke points getting taken away, I was sitting in 63k overall, and I'll hold my hands up. A couple of my video titles say that I'm ranked 63k. Unfortunately, with the Solanke points going away, I've dropped 20,000 places. So I'm now 84,000 overall. But it is what it is. I'm really happy, to be honest, with my team for this week. Martinez in goal. Really excited for that. I'm going to make a transfer in my defence. I think that's pretty much nailed on. I'm going to bring in Pedro Porro for Reece James. I'll have double Tottenham defence at that point, which is quite interesting. But I think it makes sense to go for Porro. Question marks around Anthony Gordon. I'm not sure if he's going to play, but I don't think transferring him out is the right decision. It'd be a -4 if I were. And I've got Archer coming in. I could do all right. I just feel like if I transferred out Anthony Gordon, I'd want him back. And previously, the reason I'm doing quite well in FPL at the moment is because when a player has been a doubt, the likes of, well, Gordon's been a doubt for like 3 or 4 previous game weeks. Bowen's been a doubt. Watkins has been a doubt in the past. And I've just started them the week and it's paid off and I've not transferred them out. So if I were to take out Gordon, it'd be for a hit. I could bring in Son, but then I'd be sort of banking in a transfer later on. So I think I'm just going to sit on my hands, be a little bit boring and just make one free transfer in my defence. Although I'd be interested to hear what you guys think, actually. Is that a wise way to play it, or should I be taking a hit to bring out Anthony Gordon? Or should I just start the team I've got now and do Gordon to Son or something like that? But yeah, for me, I just don't see a massive reason to change my team up too much. Colin Johnson absolutely smashing it. Well done, mate. But yeah, I'm quite happy. We're just going to see. I imagine Pod Porro's probably gone up to 5.6 million by now. I could do James to Trent, mate, but I don't really fancy it. I don't really fancy it. What's Trent got up next? Yeah, then he's got... I don't like the Arsenal and Newcastle fixtures, I've got to say. I think I'm sold on Porro, mate. I think I'm sold on Porro. Got 9.2 in the bank, though, to be fair. 9.2 in the bank. What a huge amount of money that is. Anyway. Start off then. Score predictions. I always do this every week. Talk about each game in a bit of detail and how I think they're going to end up. I know Colin Johnson in here is a Sky player. This in the Sky Fantasy Football game that he's talking about, you make a captain. You get to select a captain for every single game day, which means owning a Crystal Palace or Brighton player might be quite popular in that game. And historically, because it's the derby for both teams, we usually find this game is the only one on that day. And it always finishes something like 1-1. So that's my score prediction for that game. I reckon that's going to go 1-1. I mean, Villa and Sheffield United, given how good Villa are at home, there's just no other way that game goes, in my opinion, really, is there? 3-0, I think, to Aston Villa. Could even be more. Depends how they turn up, really. West Ham, I think Man United just edged that game. They score like a scrappy goal or something to win that 2-1. That'd be my view. I think Fulham just have the edge on Burnley in quality. So I think they scrape that one 1-0. Newcastle and Luton, I do think Luton will score in that game. Newcastle, they're not amazing away from home, particularly defensively. And for that reason, I think Luton will probably score first, and then Newcastle will mount a comeback and win that 2-1. And I think it'd be a similar story with Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth as well. Obviously, Forest have now recruited Nuno, but I don't think there's going to be much of a new manager like bounce amongst that club, because I don't think like the players... Steve Cooper necessarily lost the dressing room, to con that cliche, but I think the players were behind him all the way to the end. So I don't think there's going to be a real like new manager bounce there. Be interested to know what you guys think about Forest actually, but I'm not sure Nuno's going to go in there and improve it very much. At Spurs, I think they're going to win that 3-1 against Everton. Unfortunately, I'm not predicting them to keep a clean sheet, given that I'm buying Pedro Porro. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, I do think Everton nick a goal because they are pretty decent. So I think Spurs win that 3-1. Liverpool and Arsenal, I've gone 2-2 because I just think both teams' attacks are really good and each team has a chance of scoring. But likewise, that could just end 0-0, to be honest. Ben's saying it stinks of a 0-0. It could well do. I just don't think there's a clear winner in that game. And I think both teams will probably score. And then Wolves and Chelsea, I mean, I don't see Chelsea winning that game. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, I think that'll end 1-1. But yeah, let me know what you think of those scores in the chat. Yeah, the only one I'm a little bit sure of is Liverpool and Arsenal. It could go, well, I think it'll be a draw, like the result-wise, but any sort of goal result, I'm not too sure. Let's have a look at the quick chat. Start Kufal or Cunha? I would probably start Cunha. Trent is expensive, yeah. Hello, SJ. Merry Christmas to you, Louis Bonilla. Thoughts on Fernandes? Is that... Oh, it must be Bruno Fernandes. I'm not a massive fan, I've got to say. Alexandru's thinking West Ham will win. That's fair enough. 2-1 Liverpool. Darwin to score an assist. Might be because you own Darwin Núñez, I reckon, mate. Zaha, God, he always scored in that fixture, didn't he? I think if you're playing Sky, the best captain on that day is the A penalty taker for either team. Or today. It's today, isn't it? The best captain is the penalty taker for either team, in my opinion. Martinez, Kindoichi. Definitely Martinez, in my opinion. And then just start him when he's at home. 2-2 Wolves and Chelsea, fair enough. Ben thinks Fulham could win that 4-0. I mean, we'll see. I'm not seeing enough from them going forward that they're that good. Tom O'Connell, absolutely, yeah. Go for Konsa, given that Torres is injured. I've just got a quick look at the top players by position for expected points as well, according to Drafthound. So Goalkeepers this week, Martinez. Well, someone's asked me this question, Leno or Martinez. Martinez, 4.5 expected points. Leno in second on 3.8, closely followed by Dubravka. We got Leno, Vicario, Alisson, Petrovic, Onana, Steele and Raya, although I do think Verbruggen will probably play for Brighton. On the defenders, Trippier is number 1, 5.6. Trent second, 5.4. Torres appears to be injured, so rule him out. Konsa joint with him on 5.1. Pedro Porro, Diego Carlos, Livramento, Robertson, Castagna and Fabian Schär are the top defenders. Midfielders, we got Son as the top midfielder this week. I think given the fact that Salah is playing the best defence in the league for expected goals conceded, he's probably slightly lower in terms of expected points, although I wouldn't rule out a Salah goal. I mean, the guy's on penalties, so he could score in any game, but Son is given a slight nod in terms of expected points. Diaby, who is actually expected to play this week. A couple of Villa insider accounts are saying that he's likely to start. He's quite high up. Anthony Gordon, if he's fit. Luton away is obviously a good fixture, so he's quite high up in terms of expected points. And for that reason, I personally can't justify selling him. We've got Cole Palmer, Kudus, Bowen, Saka, Sterling and Kulusevski, the top midfielders. Let me know, by the way, in the chat if you fancy any of these players. Forwards, I mean, Watkins is the man this week. 7.1 expected points. Sheffield United at home is his fixture. Isak, Jesus, Solanke, Jackson, Cunha, Hoyland, Wilson, Darwin, Núñez, and Chris Wood. And I would agree on the Richarlison expected points. He's not on the list, and he should be. In terms of captaincy, well, Ollie Watkins by far and away leads the way in terms of expected points. I did this table. I took these graphics, I think, on Monday, so it's been Monday or Tuesday, so there may have been some updates and expected points which we can have a look when we look at Draft Hound, but yeah, he's number 1 by quite a margin and is certainly my captain this week, and I would say is going to be the popular captain pick. Son and Salah, they're always in the conversation, aren't they? And then Trippier and Diaby, the other two. Clean sheet odds, well, no surprise to see Villa up there. You know, Sheffield United at home, given how good they are at home, I mean, that's probably the most likely clean sheet, although I wouldn't be surprised to see them concede. But yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say Villa is the most likely clean sheet. Fulham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Brighton, and Tottenham. Those are the only teams this week above 30% on the clean sheet odds. Usually, like, when I see a team with below 30% odds to keep a clean sheet, I don't like to pick defenders from those teams. I don't know what you guys think, but unless they've got massive attacking upside, I don't really like it. So the only ones I would trust really are Trent, to be honest, below 30%. The rest of them, I try and play someone from a different team, basically. Mildenhall Plane Spotter. I'm really not sure on Luca Dean. What I will say is I'll have a quick look at FPL Villain on Twitter to see if he's done a lineup prediction. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It's Villain, isn't it? Has he tweeted? There we go. There's his predicted lineup. Oh, God. It's not ideal for you, mate, I'm afraid. He's got Watkins and Diaby, and the midfielders all highly likely to start. Cash is a 50-50. So is Dean. Konsa and Carlos are in there, and obviously Martinez is definitely going to play. So, I mean, if that helps you on your Villas. I reckon, Nick, I would back a Villa defender. I'd back a Villa defender or Botman. Those are the two I'd pick. I just feel Dan Burn, given he's playing left back, where Livramento's done a decent job, and obviously Trippier can play there too on occasion. I do feel like Botman is the better option because he is just, I mean, he's just nailed at centre back, isn't he, for Newcastle, given like how good of a player he is. So yeah, for that reason, I'd say rather than any of the players you've mentioned, I think I like Botman and Konsa. Hopefully that helps. I think that's it for news so far. I'll just check my Twitter home feed, see if anything's come in. That's Luke's predicted Man City team. Interesting. They're not playing, so yeah, he's done Reece James to Porro as well, same as me. I don't think there's any inside news so far. No. So what I'm going to do, we can have a look at Draft Town if you like. So if anyone wants to send me their FPL ID or team name, we can have a look at your team in Draft Town, do a quick review. I'll probably do 15 minutes worth, go to the quiz, and then do another 15 minutes of team reviews, I reckon. The only reason I say that is because it's a bit tiring to do it all. Alex Andrews, sorry I missed your chat, mate. Simicast for TAA for a -4. Not sold about it, but what do you think? I'm not sold about it either, mate. I've got to say. I don't think there's a whole lot in terms of points between the two players. I really don't. So Ben's first with Andrew Tate. So I'll have a look at that. Wow, that's a really strong team, isn't it? Like I literally have nothing. I have nothing to add to this team. It's perfect. Like this is a really, really nice team. Watkins captain, all makes sense to me. I really like that team. There's nothing more to say, to be honest, Ben. Greg Williams, 2588. So it's saying you should go 4-5-1 based on the players you've got available. Given that your team looks like this, I would probably do either Alvarez or Haaland to Watkins, because I think you'd rather play and Charlie Taylor will, I think, play. Yeah, they're not predicting him to start, but I think he will play. Yeah, I'd probably do Alvarez or Haaland to Watkins would be my move. I don't think you need to take a hit with this team, although if you fancy it, go for it. But yeah, I think I would go Alvarez to Watkins and then have that back three and Darwin and Watkins, who's your captain up front. It's probably how I'd go, mate. FPL Boo Boo. Bringing in Castagna is a bad move. I don't like him personally, mate. The only Fulham-like defender I'd go for is Leno, because he can still score points even if Fulham concede because of the saves bonus potential he's got. But beyond that, I think Leno's the only Fulham-like backline player I'd go for. This is a really nice team. Obviously, Dallo is suspended. 4.1 in the bank. Already got Watkins. I'd probably do a goalkeeper transfer here. I'd consider bringing in either Martinez or Dubravka as a goalkeeper here, because Areola might not play and Kelleher's not going to play for Alisson. So whose team am I looking at here? Boo Boo, I'd consider bringing in Dubravka, mate. Oh, nice one, Greg. Good move, mate. Yeah, Ben, me can just stick your FPL ID in and I'll... Oh, he's already done it later on. I'm just going through everyone's teams. This is Skill 74. Skill 74. Another one where I'd probably suggest, especially with the depth you've got on your bench, I'd suggest Areola to Dubravka or Martinez. Because I think with how Areola played in the Cup against Liverpool, Fabianski might get a start. Don't need to sell Gordon, in my opinion. And then Gabriel or Archer can come in for him if he doesn't play. So, yeah, I quite like that. I think you'll be fine. Kindoichi. 806, thinking goalkeeper transfer. I imagine there'll be quite a few goalkeeper transfers this week. And yeah, judging by your team, it looks lovely apart from the goalkeepers, isn't it? So yeah, I'd suggest Areola or Turner to Dubravka, or Watkins is 8.7 million now. Wow. Wow. I got him for 8. I've had him on all season. I would go either Areola or Turner to Dubravka or Martinez, mate. Take your pick on who you fancy. I think that's where I'd go with that. Ben Meakin, 261 3378. By the way, if you're watching the stream and enjoying it, Please make sure to like and subscribe. We've got 67 people watching live at the moment. It's incredible. Yeah, please make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying it. I'm looking at Ben Meakin's team now, just reminding myself. I would consider with this team, I'd consider doing Charlie Taylor to Pedro Porro. I think that's the transfer I would make. You've got Pau Torres who's not going to start. I'd consider Charlie Taylor to Pedro Porro personally. Ben, that's the move I'd make there. Lomi FC. F line in. What would I do here? What would I do here? I think I'd do Gay-He's a Consa. Yeah, I think I'd do Gay-He's a Consa here. And just go 4-5-1. Martin V. 1-2-6. 1-2-6. 4-7-3-6. I think this is a goalkeeper transfer. You've got enough on your bench there as cover, I reckon. Semenyo can come in, be a bit uncomfortable about Dawson, but I think your priority is a goalkeeper move here. I'd look at getting Dubravka in or Martinez. That's what I do with this team, Martin, I think. Nathan Edward. 8-3-6. 2-7-1. You any relation to the Crystal Palace striker? With this team, again, I think it's another goalkeeper move. I wouldn't be too confident with Turner. Likewise, neither Areola as well. So yeah, I think it's Dubravka in either for Areola or Turner, or you could go Martinez as well. And I'd probably start Darwin. I'd flip a coin. I'd flip a coin on starting Gordon or Darwin Núñez, I reckon, mate. That's what I'd do there, Nathan. Ashton, 15459019. Quite honestly, you don't need to do anything with this team. You got one free transfer. I'd consider rolling it or doing Gay-He to Porro. But I mean, Gay-He to Porro could be the move, and then you start him over either Tsimikas or Lascelles if you fancy it. Perhaps that's a good move, to be fair. Gay-He to Porro, and then, yeah, because I'm not sure Newcastle or Liverpool keep a clean sheet this week. So maybe that's something to think about, but I reckon you could likewise get away, Ashton, with just rolling. Louis Bonilla, your turn, my friend. Probably another goalkeeper transfer, isn't it? Probably another keeper transfer. And again, I'd consider Dubravka or Martinez. The rest of the team, apparently Luis Diaz isn't going to start, but you've got plenty on your bench to come in and cover. Yeah, I'd just look at a goalkeeper transfer here, I think, mate. Tendai H, just before it goes off screen, 967 916. I'd look at doing Doucouré to potentially Richarlison here, I think. Or actually, yeah. Or consider Haaland. I'd actually do Haaland to Watkins in Captain Watkins, actually. Yeah, I'd do Haaland to Watkins here. You can always buy Haaland back, but Watkins is the best captain this week, so transferring him in and making him captain, I think makes sense. Otherwise, I would look at bringing Richarlison in for Decore if you don't fancy that. I reckon that's what I'd do, pal. Amar Motez, 106 for 2204. 106 for 2204. Yeah, I'm matching up Amar Motez, but I can't find your team and I searched the ID. So you'll have to, might have made a mistake there. I can find Dakshin okay, so I will look at his team. But yeah, Amar, just send your correct ID in or team name and we can have another look. Dakshin, I would probably look at getting Pedro Porro in, or if you fancy it, a more expensive defender, but I like Porro. Porro in for Gahey would be my move here, I think, mate. Binod Nirula. I'd look at a goalkeeper transfer it. I'd consider doing Sanchez to Dubravka and then just rocking the team you've got because it's fine. Either that or you risk your goalkeeper and do Haaland to Watkins. Could even be worth a hit, you know. It could actually be worth a hit to do Areola to Dubravka and Haaland to Watkins. That could actually be a worthwhile hit. There's a couple things to think about, mate. Sean Govier, 323312. $10 million in the bank. Tell you what, mate, there isn't a lot to do here. I'd potentially consider bringing in like Trippier, Trent, or Porro, but ultimately you would survive with this team this week if you just rolled. I think it's up to you, really. Do you want to roll the dice and make a transfer, or do you just want to play it safe and roll? I think both are viable options with this team. But yeah, I'd look at bringing in, you've already got Trippier, so Trent or Porro in for one of your defenders if you don't really like your defence. But otherwise, I'd just roll the transfer, mate. Don't feel bad about rolling. That's a totally fine thing to do. Jamie Curry, 838871. This is another one where I would consider bringing in Dubravka. But likewise, you've got Alvarez there. It's tough, man. There's a lot of ways you could play this. Because your defence, no offence, I'm sure you won't take offence, your defence looks a little bit ropey. You've got Dean, who is like, according to that Aston Villa lineup prediction, it's here, is 50% to play. So you got a 50-50 starter. Tsimikas, who probably concedes. Kabore, who probably concedes. So maybe, what's the assistant manager say? It says Udogi to Livramento. I wouldn't get rid of Udogi. Yeah. Alvarez to Solanke, I don't actually mind. If you do Alvarez to Solanke, it means you don't have to start Kabore. So yeah, maybe with this team, I do Alvarez to Solanke. I can't remember whose team I'm looking at now, but you'll recognise that. I think it might be Jamie Curry, isn't it? That's what I do, mate. John Hamilton is next. 169058. Mate, I don't think you need to make a transfer here. You don't need to. You could do Taylor to Porro, but you don't need to do that. I would consider rolling John. I think that team's really strong. Tom O'Connell, no problem, mate. We're getting through him. Oh, like Tom, I've nothing to comment here. This team is really, really nice. It's saying to start Senesi, which I rate. Yeah, this team's really nice, mate. There's nothing I'd do here. I think that team's fine, Tom. Stacey, Obi-Wan Iwobi, is it? Sean. Why did I search Stacey? Oh, I got confused. Obi-Wan, Iwobi, Sean. Your name on this chat is Stacey, but you're Sean. What was it? It wasn't Sean. Sean Mac. There's a Sean Paul. It's called Orchard FC. Is that you, Sean? It's not called what you said it was called, though. Oh, you did do Alvarez to Slanky. Lovely. Sorry, Sean, I can't find your team. No, doesn't seem to work. I do apologise, mate. I can't find it. I'll try it one more time. I'll search Sean afterwards. All these Seans. You got Sean McFadden, Sean Murphy, but not you, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Just send me your ID and I might be able to find you. Dakshin. I'll show you that in a second. 132 for Diraj. 132 3973. I'm going to get onto the quiz in a second. So Luke, well, when Sean gets his team back in, that'll be the last one that I look at. You don't need to spam the chat, by the way. I'll see everyone. Diraj with this team. I wouldn't do anything really. I think you could well roll your transfer this week, mate. I think you'll need to, owning both Salah and Son as well. So yeah, I just take your transfer to the bank and roll it, mate. Darwin on the bench is a bit painful, but please stop spamming the chat, mate. You don't need to spam the chat. I will look at yours. Matt check. Cavaradonna. Oh, I like that. It's a combination between Maradona and the Napoli winger whose name I can't pronounce. Matt check. That's him, isn't it? Good, Jay. If you keep spamming your ID in the chat, I will ban you from the chat, mate. That's really annoying. I'm going to look at it. I've seen it 4 times. I'm going to look at it. Dubravka would probably be my transfer in here, mate. Did I skip you, Rafik? I did skip you. My apologies. But yeah, I look at doing a goalkeeper transfer. With this team. I've lost where I am now. Rafik. Apologies, Rafik, mate. Ooh. Interesting one. I don't mind the team, you know. It's a little bit different, but I quite like it. Probably do Haaland to Solanke here, so you don't have to play Jimenez. But yeah, Haaland to Solanke would be what I'd consider here, mate. I skip Mildenhall Plane Spotter as well. Where was that? Oh, there you go. My apologies. It's because your message was longer and wasn't just an idea or a team name, so it confused me. I do apologise. Although there are plenty Bukayo Zakas. So knowing which one is yours is quite hard. And by the looks of it, there are loads of Bukayo Sakas, and every one I'm looking at is a Zach. So might need to tell me a bit more info for that one. I'll come back to you. I've forgotten where I was now. Did I do Ujay Singh? Ujay.Singh? Oh, you don't want help? 529886. Zach Beaumont. I'll have a look at that in a second, pal. I'd consider Ujay a goalkeeper transfer with this team, mate. I reckon the rest of your team, goalkeeper transfer here, mate. Look at getting Dubravka or Martinez in, but the rest of the team is absolutely fine. You've got plenty on your bench if Gordon doesn't start. I'd just do a goalkeeper transfer. Right, I'm going to take stock there of all the teams. So anyone below Ujay's message, I'm going to do it later. Oh, and of course, right. We'll look at Mildenhall Plain Spotter. Oh, I'm missing everyone's. Apparently, sorry. It's really hard to keep track of it all. The chat moves, and then when you're scrolling it's all really difficult. With this team, I would probably look at doing Haaland to Watkins and then Captain Watkins. Yeah, Haaland to Watkins, Captain Watkins, mate. That's what I reckon I'd do here. Daniel, where was your team then? I missed yours. Duncan Disorderly. Duncan Disorderly. I'm going to spell out your surname. Don Donacci. That's a cracking name, that. Great name. Your debate, I reckon, is do you do a goalkeeper transfer or do you trust Pickford? That'd be my question. Because if I think Martinez or Dubravka could come in goal, but you could likewise trust Pickford or Turner and just roll. That's probably where I'd make it. The rest of the team's fine. I just consider a goalkeeper transfer. I think that's where my mind is there, Daniel, mate. Nice one. I don't know about Gordon. I have no idea about Gordon. Based on how previous weeks have gone, I reckon he plays. There we go. We got him. We got Sean. I probably played Darwin. Oh, I don't know, because Wolves are at home, so Wang could well score. I think with this team, what's your name? Sean. I keep so many names going on. I think with this team, Sean, I would consider a goalkeeper transfer. Not goalkeeper, what am I talking about? A defender transfer, because I don't think you've got a clean sheet in that defence at all. So maybe consider bringing in a Villa defender or Pedro Porro. Potentially doing Shah to Porro. I think that could make sense. All right, I'm going to call stumps on the team. So Keith Fish and Diraj are the last two that I'm going to do. And then we're going to do a quiz. If anyone wants to do an FPL quiz. It's a Christmas quiz. Oh, Zorro, I'm sorry. I'll do yours now, mate, because I did pass you. 3829353. 9353. My apologies. Although, I mean, I don't think you need that much help. I think this team is fine. Honestly, maybe consider doing Sanchez to Dubravka. But I wouldn't want to tell you to spend a transfer on that because the team looks really good. Maybe do Sanchez to Dubravka Zorro, but other than that, I mean... God, I'm terrible for missing people's names. Jack as well. I'll do yours. But yeah, maybe consider a goalkeeper transfer or roll in Zorro. Apologies, Jack, mate. It is really hard to keep on top chat. Wow. Good team. I'm not sure I'd do a great deal with this, I've got to say. Not sure I would do a great deal with that team. I think I'd just roll. As it is fine. I'd probably leave Isaac on the bench because I'm not sure if he plays. But then if he does, he could well score. But who do you take out for him? Yeah, Newcastle not great away from home. Even if he does play, I reckon this is the 11 you go for. Sorry to take so long to answer that, Jack. It is quite hard to keep up with the chat. I hope you can understand. Diraj was the last one, and who else has put one in? Zane Zen as well. We'll do Zane Zen. He's a regular viewer. We'll let you off. Diraj. Oh, man, this team is fine. We've already looked at this team anyway. I've already looked at this. This team's fine. Don't need to do anything with that. Donny sneaking in there. All right, 2 more then. Zane Zen. I would bench Isaac because Bruno's got penalties for him. Oh, with this team, Zane, I'd probably play Darwin Núñez over Gordon. Or, no, actually, I'd probably play Darwin Núñez over Tsimikas. That's probably what I'd do. And then the rest is fine. I started Keith Fish and then stopped. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible human being. Goalkeeper transfer, mate. Obviously, I'd get Dubra. I'd get Martinez in for Sanchez. Flecken will play again. I'd get Martinez in for Sanchez. There you go. Donny FPL. 1847. You know what? As it is fine. Could consider doing Alvarez to Solanke, but you could also get away with rolling. Or you could do a Dinger to Richarlison. But I mean, Alvarez to Solanke is probably the best play. Yeah, what's the assistant manager say? Yeah. Castagna to Livramento, I don't like that. Alvarez to Solanke is probably the one I'd make. Third best Aston Villa defender to go for? Probably Diego Carlos. Probably Diego Carlos, mate. This week, though, I quite fancy Cash, but it is a bit of a risk. So, yeah. Diego Carlos. Rice Fields. God, we still got some coming in. Look at this. I think Moreno's 50-50 to start, mate. I think it's too much of a risk. I think it's 50-50 between Moreno and Dean who starts. So it's, yeah, up to you whether you want to take the risk. I think Diego Carlos is the safe one, but obviously he doesn't offer much attacking threat. Solanke and Watkins is like the best front two this week. Whose team are we looking at? Christ. Rice Fields. A lot to digest here. Ultimately, though, I think your transfer is a defender out. Not defender, goalkeeper transfer, and I think you should bring in Martinez for Johnston. There you go, Rice Fields. That's what I'd do. Rehan, okay. And then Lee Fisher, and then we're done. Lee is the last team that I'm going to do. Oh. Niels just did it, right? Niels is the last team I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in the chat as well. Because it is quite intense for me to look at all these teams. Nils. 5, I'm looking at 547. Who was 547? I've lost it. 547 166. Rehan. Who is the penalty taker for Fulham? Willian. But when Willian's not on the pitch, I don't know. I don't know, mate. I think it's too risky. Probably be Andres Pereira, actually. As for your team, probably do Mbumo to Richarlison, you know. Sorry, William. I did a cut off, mate. You're too late, but I will come back to team reviews later on. Don't worry, we'll get to you, but I'm gonna call stops after Niels that said in the chat. Yeah, I'd probably do Mbumo to Richarlison and then start him over Branthwaite, and then I think that's fine. I like Richarlison at the moment. I think that'd do you well. Lee Fisher, Fish and Chips AFC. Another goal. This is a goal. Yeah, you're saying goalkeeper transfer. I would do Areola to Dubravka. Yeah, Areola to Dubravka. 3 defenders. I don't think you need 3 defenders. I would just do. I'd look to get him Porro, but I've got to say, I don't know if it's worth taking a hit or just getting a 0-pointer. I would almost consider a 0-pointer being better than a hit. That's where I'm coming from there, Lee. I'd almost say, it's just a different opinion. I think you're probably right that you need to take a hit for a defender and a goalkeeper, but I'd almost be of the mind that just getting a 0-pointer from a defender might be better than a hit. I just don't think there's a great deal of clean sheets to go around this week. And if you don't get a clean sheet, your hit's not worth it. So that'd be my thinking. 564770. Oh, share may play. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, mate. You could risk that, I think. I think that's fair to risk. I wouldn't do anything with this team. I wouldn't do a thing. I think it looks really nice. Niels, I wouldn't do a thing, mate. I would probably play Simicast of that lot. Maguro, I've done people's teams. If you check out my Gameweek 19 or Gameweek 18 thoughts video, Maguro, I include in it a free hit team that you can have a look at. We can do a quiz now, if that's all right. I've got 5 quiz questions for you. A little bit of excitement. I've had viewers in the past cheat on these questions, and obviously I'm doing a live stream from a computer, so I can't see you, so I don't know if you're cheating, but hopefully you're honest. So if Game Week 17 had concluded as normal, how many points would Solanke have finished on? Wonder if anyone knows the answer to that one. Or how many points was Solanke on for? Sorry, not what would he finish on? Because the game, yeah, was still had time left. Some 6s, some 9s. I'll give it another 30 seconds. 9 with bonus, 6 and a bonus of 3, 6, 6, 6. Interesting. My Game Week 18 thoughts video, Maguro. It's a picture of me with a thought bubble coming off my head. Oh, I can feel my laptop being worked at the moment. I think everyone knows the answer to this, pretty much. The answer is 9. He was on for 9.6, and everyone's correctly saying a bonus of 3. Right, next question. Which player has taken the most shots in the Premier League so far this season? Salah, Watkins, Haaland, or Solanke? Which player, not the most goals, just which player has taken the most shots? Who do we reckon? Shouts for Watkins, Salah, Solanke, Haaland, Salah, Darwin. No, it's not on the list, I'm afraid, mate. I think Lascelles starts this game week, yeah. Especially if Cher's injured, it'll be Lascelles and Botman as the double up at the back. Few shouts for Solanke, bit of Watkins, bit of Salah. GT spamming Haaland. I got your answer, mate. By the way, it'd be obviously you can cheat on this, so I'm trusting you not to. But keep your scores. There's 5 questions in total. I'll do it for another 10 seconds. The answer is it's Erling Haaland. He's taken 58 shots so far this season, which I think is 10 more than any other player. I think Salah is second on like 48. It's Haaland. He's top for shots. Total shots. Not on target, just taking shots. Haaland is top. 58 shots. It's a lot. Okay. My name's Tom, by the way, GT. But you can call me Golden Goal. Doesn't matter. You call me, but my name is Tom. Who has had the most passes? So who's made the most passes in the Premier League so far this season? Rodri, Saliba, Diaz, or Dunk? What do we reckon? If anyone plays the Sky game, they'll probably know the answer to this. But it's not really an important thing for FPL. So I'd be interested to see what people think. Bit of Saliba, bit of Rodri. Interesting. Rodri. Bit of Dunk. Quite a few shouts for Rodri. Bit of Saliba. Ben says Dunk. I should say it is Lewis Dunk. Watch. Saliba, Rodri. He does make the most. I would say it kind of does make the most sense, but that doesn't mean it's the correct answer. I'll give it another 10 seconds. Son captain this game week? Nah, actually, I'd go Watkins. Son's probably the second best captain if you don't own Watkins, though. Few shouts there for Saliba. Right, I'm going to put you out of your misery. The answer is Lewis Dunk. He's made 1,492 passes this season. Obviously, with the way that De Zerbi and Brighton set up, he's a bit of a ball player from the back. So yeah, 1,492 passes for Lewis Dunk. There you go, that is true. You can fact check that. Right, this is an interesting one. I doubt people will know the answer to this. Which player has been caught offside the most in the league this season? Nunes, Jackson, Bowen, or Alanga? Yes, Nils, I didn't get them fixed. I got a new pair. So, new pair of glasses on. What do you reckon? They're not too different from my other ones, but they are a little bit bigger, which is taking some getting used to. But yeah, I got them fixed. Nunes, Jackson, Alanga, Jackson. Nunes. Same with me, Dan. So what I will say is, regardless of who is number one, these are the top 4. So I'll let you know that. So there's no I can see why you say that, Ben, but yeah, this is just the top 4. So I remember I took the top 4 and copied it into the slide. So yeah, these are just the top 4. Alanga's the guess for a couple people, though. Fair enough. The correct answer is Alanga. He's been caught offside 15 times so far this season. Jackson getting done 3 times in 10 minutes is insane, though. So, but I got this off the official Premier League website, so I'd expect it to be true. But it is Anthony Alanga. All right, and this is the final question. Who has committed, again, this is the top 4, so there's no random player I've shoehorned in. This is the top 4. Who has committed the most fouls in the Premier League this season? You got Conor Gallagher, Kulusevski, Udogi, and Bissouma. Obviously, Spurs, they love a foul by the looks of it. Who shouts for Doggy? Bit of Basuma. Shout for Gallagher. Doggy or Basuma? Doggy. No one said Kulusevski yet. Not saying it's the right answer, but no one said Kulusevski. Ben saying Gallagher. Mildenhall playing spotter saying Gallagher. Rehan's gone Kulusevski. It's true, Dan. He's suspended this week. Kindoichi saying Basuma. This is the final question, so I'll let it roll on for a little bit longer. GT, you've already said it. Your first answer was Udogi, mate. I can see it in the chat. You've given 3 answers out of 4 now. You said Udogi, you said Basuma or Udogi, and now you said Kulusevski. Now, I'll admit, I did tell a bit of a porky pie on this one. I said this is the top 4. It's not actually the top 4. I actually inserted Udogi and Basuma onto this list because I couldn't believe they weren't on it. But they're not in the top 4. The player that has committed the most fouls is Conor Gallagher. There you go. All fact-checkable in true. All fact-checkable in true. I'll just show you. I got all the stats from the Premier League website. Let me know what your scores were, by the way, in the chat. Let me know what your scores. But yeah, there's Lewis Dunk, top for passes. 4 out of 4. There was 5 questions, wasn't there? Or did I only do 4? Did I only do 4 questions? Oh yeah, I only did 4 questions. No, I did 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 questions. People might have missed them. Yeah, fair enough. There you go. I'm just going to quickly check Twitter if that's okay. During the quiz time, we may have missed some news. Hope you enjoyed the quiz, by the way. I usually do that on stream, but last week I didn't. I did my stream. Well, it wasn't last week. The weekend, whenever the last midweek deadline was, basically, I did my stream straight after work, so I didn't have time to prepare the quiz. But yeah, I had a bit of time today, so I did a quiz. Apparently Tottenham going for Conor Gallagher. I don't think they'll be getting him. Be interested. I will have a look, Ben. What was I going to look at? Jump the wave. We're going to look for the... see if she's done a Newcastle lineup. Newcastle. Oh, that's interesting. I'm going to zoom in. Newcastle predicted lineup. So Gordon is 58% to start, apparently, according to the Newcastle fans. 58% likely to start. You probably can't see this on the quality of the stream. I can just about read it on my screen. So yeah, the predicted lineup is Dubravka, Trippier, Lascelles, Botman and Byrne. Bruno Guimaraes, Miley, Longstaff, Almiron, Gordon, Wilson and Isak. That's the predicted lineup. Is that 4-3? No, that's 4-3-4. So someone in that might not be playing then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so someone out of that lot is going to miss out. Interesting. I agree with Gordon, by the way, but I think he either starts or gets a decent amount of minutes this week. He's just playing through everything, isn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, 12 players have above 50% chance of starting, apparently, in that Newcastle team. That was the lineup prediction that I wanted to know. Just gonna. There we go. That was an appropriate GIF. Cheers, Ben. I'll have a look-see. Yeah, I don't mind it. I probably would have kept Nunes, though. I think taking Nunes out was a bit of a knee-jerk, but I guess Watkins is the best captain, isn't he? Speaking of fan team, I actually need to do mine. So I'm just going to go onto my full screen set, log into fan team, and then do my team. And I'm also going to make my FPL transfer as well. But I'm going to log into fan team a sec. Don't know if Gordon's out. Don't think it's worth, unless you have other fire, unless you don't have any other fires to put out GT, I wouldn't do that move. But if it's the only move you're even remotely eyeing up, it's probably worth it. But then again, I don't think there's much in it. There we go, I'm in. I'm just going to do quickly set my fan teams up. Here we go. Oh, I'm in a spot of bother here. I think I'm going to have to use a transfer. Doggy's suspended, so well, 7 million in the bank because I sold I sold Haaland. Still got Isak stinking out my teams. How have I ended up with Isak, man? How have I ended up with Isak? Cash is going to come in. I think actually, let's get him in. I think I can. I haven't got Watkins. I think Nunes to Watkins has got to be the move then, hasn't it? Trade player. Watkins. Captain. Update. Confirm. Nunes to Watkins is the move. Probably should have done Isak actually, but I'm going to take the risk. This team I'll do Isak for Watkins. But then Isak could well play. Let's do Isak for Watkins in this team. Keep them different. Oh yeah, Watkins is for sure going to flop. I'll just change my team. No, I wouldn't take a hit to remove Isak. Isak, I reckon he gets minutes this week, even if he doesn't start, to be honest. That's just my view. Dunk. In. Cash. In. Dawson. First. Bench. Bosh. Yeah. Sorted. Right, back to FPL. I'm going to do one of my transfers. Welcome to the team, Pedro Porro. Confirm transfers. Pedro Porro. Welcome to the team, my friend. Now the question is, who should be first on my bench if Gordon doesn't play? Do I go with Archer, who's got Villa away, probably won't score, or Charlie Taylor, who's got Fulham away, probably won't keep a clean sheet? What do we reckon there? Who's first on the bench there? That is tough. I don't really know. I think it's 50-50. We might have a look at Draft Hound's expected points. Should we see what they're saying? Archer, and Taylor. Oh, they don't predict Taylor to play, do they? So he's not going to get any points. For some reason, Taylor's not predicted to start. Archer's got a 24% chance of goal involvement this week. Interesting. Yeah, I think you're right, ZPS. May as well favour the attacker, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Archer doesn't get goals conceded and Fulham could get a battering. So yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Hopefully cash plays. That'd be lovely. I'm really happy with this team. Like, what I'm quite happy about is this is pretty much like, apart from Gordon, who would probably be Son, and maybe Lascelles to Trippier, this would be my free hit team this week as the 11 if I had a free hit on, I reckon. I'm really happy with the team. 84k overall. Is Gabriel a good first sub if I have Gordon? Not ideal, because he'll probably concede. Well, yeah, he probably concedes, doesn't he, at the end of the day? But I don't think it's not the end of the world. Depends if you have any other options. If he's the only player you've got, then there's definitely no need to make a transfer to have a better first sub. A random penguin, like Lascelles and Semenyo are absolutely fine. Lascelles has got Luton away and Semenyo's got Forest, so I think those are two absolutely fine. I'd agree, but I'm not 100% if Eze starts. I'd bench Luis Diaz because Gordon, he's more likely to play or not at all, whereas Luis Diaz might get some minutes. So Gordon, if he plays and does well, he plays 90 rather than gets benched, if that makes sense. So you may as well bench Diaz, I would. And Gordon's got the better fixture. We'll see, Rayhan. We'll see. If he scores and ruins the clean sheet, but Gordon doesn't play, then it's fine. But what will probably happen, knowing my luck, is that Archer scores, ruins my double Villa clean sheet, and then Gordon plays. I would start Lascelles, mate. I know Newcastle have not been great away, but I mean, the fixture is Liverpool away versus Luton away. And I'd say Newcastle and Liverpool are, reasonably level in terms of defensive ability. So I think you've got to favour the good fixture, even if Newcastle's record away is poor. Archer or Gabriel as first sub. I think you use the same logic as I've done. Go for the attacker. I'd go for Archer as your first sub. Yeah, but it's Liverpool, mate. Are you suggesting that Luton's a better attack than Liverpool? I don't think I can get on board with that. What about Diaby or Cunha? I would definitely go Diaby, mate. Sheffield United at home. He's likely to start. Diaby, definitely. Mubama or Saliba? Well, Mubama is not going to get not even a sniff of minutes, in my opinion. So it'd be Saliba. Shanana Goals is backing you up, mate. I mean, that's your opinion at the end of the day, Mildenhall. Plain spot. I'm not going to knock you, but I would say that I would rather start a Newcastle defender with Luton away than an Arsenal defender at Anfield. That's just my opinion. Leon Bailey for Sterling to free up funds. Huh? Oh, okay. Murphy, I wouldn't do that. I reckon you'll have 2 frees next week, so why don't you just make the move next... Oh, you were talking about making the move next week. Oh, I don't know, mate. I wouldn't want to tell you what move to make next week. Anything could happen this week. I wouldn't be looking at transfers next week until we get this game week out of the way, mate. You're probably rolling this week, so that's obviously what you're thinking about. But mate, I'd wait for the game week to finish. I don't think you can think that far ahead. Obviously, you can have a rough plan of what you want to do, but what I'm saying is planning a transfer in advance is really tough in FPL. Leno over Dubravka and Martinez? No, not for me. Dubravka and Martinez are the two best keepers in the game, in my opinion, not just because I own them, but Villa are basically unbeatable at home. And Newcastle always have a clean sheet in them at home as well. So basically my plan is to start whichever one is at home every week. I think Simicast will start. I do. The one thing I guess to say about that Arsenal-Liverpool game is Liverpool did play midweek and Arsenal didn't. So that could be a factor. To be honest, any of those 4.5 goalkeepers that start will do you all right. But I do think Dubravka's better than all of them. Should I sell cash to Konsa for free or save? I'd probably save it. I think of all weeks, this is the week that Cash plays. With Pau Torres being injured, I think that Cash has got his highest chance for a long time of starting. So for that reason, I'd say start Cash. I wouldn't do the transfer just yet. And obviously Cash has attacking threat too, whereas Konsa is clean sheet or nothing, really. I don't mind Petrovic, but just like I said, I just don't see why you'd go for him over Martinez or Dubravka. I just don't see why you'd do it. Would you use Haaland money on TAA? I'm not sure I'd do it on TAA. I wouldn't be afraid of using the Haaland money because the time that Haaland comes back will be in and around the time that Salah and Son go to their international tournaments. So, you know, you're going to be selling them for cheaper options, which means you'll have money to buy Haaland back. So spending the Haaland money, I'm not too worried about. But would I spend it on TAA when he's got Arsenal? I'm not sure. That'd be my thoughts on that. I hope everyone's couldn't even get my words out then. I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. If you don't mind, I had a coffee before I went live. Been live for an hour and 15, and I'm absolutely desperate for the loo. And I need to fill up my water bottle as well because I'm really thirsty from talking lots. So yeah, 2 minutes. I'm just going to nip to the loo and refill my water, and then I'll be back. Hopefully that's all right. Feel free to leave if you want to. I can't keep you, but I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm desperate for the loo. I'll put on my break screen. Look at that. I'm back. Thanks everyone for waiting. Just got to do one more thing. I've got training tonight and my Whoop needed a charge, so I've got my super wanky. Look at it. What it looks like when you're charging it. Yeah, I got training tonight, so I cracked on my Whoop charger because it's dead. What did I miss? Oh, my dinner. It was lovely. Yeah, I mentioned I had dinner with my girlfriend and her parents at the end of the last stream, so that would have been Friday then, wouldn't it? It would have been the last deadline. It was really nice, thank you. Went for an Italian. I had meatballs and some like the nicest garlic bread I've ever eaten as a starter. So it was a really nice dinner, thank you. Good to see you too, Melvin. I think ZPS has enough doubt over Gordon not to take a hit. Lovely, Louis. Bobby, the legend that is FF Bobby. If anyone plays Sky Fantasy Football, FPL, or the Champions League game, be sure to check out Bobby because his channel is fantastic. Focal said Gordon 85% chance to be out. What's he based that on, mate? What's he based that on? Is Watkins a must buy? I mean, probably. Probably, because he is the best captain. And, well, I mean, I've had him all season. I reckon he could score in each of his next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think he could score in all these fixtures. Like, up until Gameweek 31, he could score every week. I don't know what you guys think, but look at the... Oh, hang on. I haven't got the screen share on. My bad. Up until Gameweek 31, there we go. I reckon he could score every week. Don't know what you think, but I mean, I think there could be a goal every week until 31. I really do. I'm just trying to find my old glasses so you guys can do a comparison. So I can do a comparison. The bad thing about Sheffield United that it's a low block, yeah, but the thing is with a low block that they'll play, as soon as they can see one goal, it completely opens up. And I think Villa are good enough to break down a low block as well. Would you put both... I'll review people's teams again in a second, you know, actually. Would you put both Gabriel and Tsimikas in or bench one of them for Trippier? I play... Honest opinion, I would play triple Newcastle defence over Gabriel and Tsimikas. I don't know what everyone else is thinking, but... Perhaps maybe play one of them over Lascelles, just so you spread your risk. But I wouldn't have any issue with going Trippier and Dubravka starting in my team. Maybe just consider going for either Tsimikas or Gabriel over Lascelles. I guess the thing... I just had a thought in my head about that Liverpool-Arsenal game. Because Arsenal didn't play midweek, did they? And Liverpool did. So you've got to think that the Arsenal team are going to have fresher legs. So my favourite to win that game, even though it's at Anfield, I think Arsenal could win it, which would make me think I'd be more likely to start Gabriel than Tsimikas. So Gabriel, Trippier and Dubravka, of those three, I reckon. Yeah, Solanke I think is a great option. Forest away. I don't know what you guys think. Obviously, Steve Cooper got sacked, didn't he? But I don't think there's going to be much of a manager bounce at Forest just because of how popular Steve Cooper was. You know what I mean? It feels like a different vibe than a new manager bounce. Boo Boo, I don't know if I can say yes or no to that because I don't know who you're selling them for and what the rest of your team looks like, I'm afraid. GT, are you talking about this app? If you are, this is Draft Hound. There should be a link in the description to it. Sometimes I also use FPL Review. That's quite useful. Other than that, I just use FBref. And the stats on the Fantasy Premier League website on your desktop are pretty good now as well. Oh, it hasn't done it. I think it's not ideal Sidemen shorts, but I think you get away with it. No, I don't know anything about Gordon. Focal saying he's 85% out. I mean, I don't know what he's basing it on. I'm not saying it's wrong. I just don't have any info myself to back it up or not. Looking at the predicted lineups, he was 58% to start. So, I don't know. Izana, hello mate. I'm gonna have a quick look at Anthony Gordon. See if there's any tweets about him. Anthony Gordon apparently parked in a disabled parking bay. That's the info we've got on him. The fact that he parked in a disabled bay. Who's this? Early team news source. Saying Diaby and Cash start and Gordon starts. I don't even think the Newcastle. When did Newcastle play? They play on Saturday. Do you reckon? Well, I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating, right? I don't know Focal's info. Do you think Eddie Howe knows the starting 11 for Luton on Thursday, given the game's on Saturday, and they'll travel probably tomorrow? Do you think he even knows the 11? I'm not sure he does. Do you know what I mean? I just don't think... I don't think anyone knows what that Newcastle team is at the moment, because I don't think the Newcastle team know what it is at the moment. Do you know, that's just my feeling. The only reason that Gordon wouldn't play is if his injury is really serious. I don't know about Mikolenko, mate, I'm afraid. I would bench... Oh, no, there's Izana. You've got someone else that should be benched ahead of those two. Maybe not. Maybe not. Will Konsa start? Almost definitely. He's the most nailed Villa defender. Yeah, I'd bench Odegaard, I think, over that lot. Who is the best defender to buy? I would say Porro. I went for Porro this week. I didn't own him already. I went for Porro. Second best, probably Trent. Third best, probably Trippier. Oh, crap. I've got Porro on my bench. What's going on? What's going on, lads? There we go. Blimey, that scared me. What to do with Livramento and Gordon? Well, I'm holding on to Gordon because I think it's worth doing so. Quite frankly, because I have to take a hit to get rid of him as well. So I'm holding on to Gordon. What should you do with Livramento? I'll keep him as well, to be honest. Unless you can afford Porro or Konsa, maybe. That could be a good move for you. But I'd keep Gordon. Livramento is probably the most sellable. Banner boy, hello mate. Do you think it's worth replacing one of Son or Salah with an Aston Villa midfielder? Not right now. No. At your peril, mate. That's what I'd say. What does everyone else in the chat think of that? I can see the logic, mate. I'm not saying it's a silly move or anything like that, but it's not something I would do. I'd be interested to see what the rest of the chat thought about that one, though. Have a look at Banner Boy's message chat and, yeah, let them know what you think. It's not just me in this stream. You know, we've got 25 people watching at the moment who might be able to help. I just wouldn't get rid of them until like the last minute, to be honest. They're the two best midfielders in the game. Like they could score against anyone. Like even obviously Salah can score against Arsenal, can't he? Son is Son. Yeah, I agree. That's my opinion too. What I would consider doing though is Salah, I think, is off in game week 21. So you could sell him for the Newcastle game. You could do that. Who's Son got? This is obviously Porro, but they got the same fixtures, yeah. So Son is probably the one to... Salah's probably the one to sell first if you need to like work out your transfers methodically. I would say. But I'd hold on to them for dear life until the very end. Like, I was very close because I have enough cash in the bank. Even though it's only really short term, I've got 9.1 in the bank. I'm close to Gordon to Son for a hit and have Son for 3 weeks because I think he's that good. I would go Robinson, mate, because Alex Moreno, I'm not sure if he plays. I think if you're going for one, you want to pick one that's going to play. Yeah, we'll have a look at a couple of people's teams. A couple of people have asked me to look at their teams, so I'll do that. That's fair enough, that. Someone else asked before as well, so if you're still in the chat, stick your team name in if I've not looked at it already. Mildenhall Plane Spotter. It depends what your plans are in the future. Holding Alvarez for upcoming fixtures. Interesting because I was going to say sell him for Solanke. Because even in like the good fixtures, he's been doing crap. So personally, I'd sell him for Solanke and start Solanke over Simicast. Sorry, you asked me this question, didn't you? I'd do that. And then I would sell Alvarez to Solanke, and that would be my team if Solanke was there. Keaton Kyle, if you let me know your team name, I might be able to find it. Likewise, your FPL ID. You can search on there. Sorry, someone's just tried to ring me. Whose team are we looking at? Barmy Armies. Oh, mate. I think you got to do Haaland to Watkins and Captain Watkins here. And then just pray that Isaac starts. So, yeah, Haaland to Watkins, Captain Watkins, and then bench Bell. And then just pray. Say a prayer for Isaac to start. That's what I'd do. Levi J. 1332 602. I'd roll. I think I'd roll. You've got 3 benchers who won't play, but I think I'd still roll because getting 0 points from one of your players, I think, is fine. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd roll with this. I don't like a kanji, actually. I don't like a kanji, so maybe I'd consider a kanji to Konsa. I can't remember who's. I think this might be Levi's team. Sorry, I get really I've looked at so many teams today that the names sort of disappear. I think this is Levi's team. I consider a kanji to Konsa and then starting him over Simicast. I think people are saying that Simicast might not play. Drawn Stormo, I recognise you off Twitter. That helps a lot. Well, I would definitely start Darwin over Simicast. And then I'd probably roll. Goalkeeper. I'd get either Dubravka or Martinez in. Take your pick. Drawn Stormo. But yeah, Turner or Areola to Dubravka or Martinez would be what I'd do there. I can't go too much more specific. Fergie's XI. Keaton Kyle. There he is. Tricky one. I'd look at getting Konsa in. I'd consider Taylor to Konsa, I think. And then up to you who you start Konsa for, I would say. He's on, I don't have the coin anymore. Well, it's somewhere. I've not chucked it in the bin or anything, but I can't find it. Yeah, Keaton Cole. I think I'd do Taylor to Konsa. But exactly how that would work with my bench, I'm not sure. I would bench either one of Simicast Saliba or Saliba for sure for Konsa, but exactly who? Probably Simicast. SJ 111 4000. That's all right. Very welcome. Bought Dubravka for Ariol. Oh yeah, lovely team. That makes sense. I like it. I like it. Love your moves, mate. Love your moves. That was it for the teams. We're sitting pretty now, aren't we? Look at that. I'm happy with that team. We'll take it. Do you think bringing back Wilson and captaining him for a differential pick is worth it? No. He'll get injured in the next couple games. I guess it depends if you've still got like your wild card in hand. Like if you're doing a 1 week punt, possibly. Yeah, Milden Hall plane spotter, you're correct. So if, for example, Cash didn't play, Archer wouldn't come in, I'd get Taylor. Oh yeah, Banner Boy, apologies, mate. Yeah, of course I can. USM. I'd need to know a bit more info though, because yeah. Oh, there you are. That'd be you, wouldn't it, Banner Boy? I'd probably do Gahey to Konza and then start him over Simicast. And then that team is really nice. Yeah, Gahey to Konza and start him over Simicast. Banner boy, that's what I'd do there. May as well keep Pinnock because he's got Wolves and Crystal Palace next, which is better than Gahey's fixtures. Will Aged? Oh, mate, I've no idea. I've no idea. We'll have a look at Twitter, see what Twitter's saying. Top 3 best strikers, I'd go Watkins, Wilson, Solanke. Just going to see if someone's predicted the West Ham team. Newcastle predicted Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, United, Villa, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Brighton. Oh, that's last week. I don't think she does a West Ham predicted lineup, you know. Just because it's never really a never really a team that people worry about. Looks like Harry's going to sell Gordon. Interesting. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to hang fire. You got Forest next. Do you think Areola will start? Probably not after his performance against Liverpool. I guess the case for selling Gordon is those two. It's probably what Harry said, right? It's the 3 fixtures. Liverpool, Man City, Villa away. That's as tough as it gets, really, isn't it? But is it worth a hit? I don't know. Who's he selling him for, Gordon? That's the question. Who's Harry selling him for, ZPS? I think Semenyo probably starts, yeah. I think Semenyo probably starts. Hey, you're very welcome, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I'm sure you've already subscribed because you're in the chat, but yeah, I appreciate you, mate. Driss, let's have a look. I wouldn't use the transfer, mate. I would roll that transfer. Roll it because you need to sell Salah and Son coming up. And I think you could do with 2 free transfers in order to help with that. So for me, I would roll. I don't think you're in any desperate need to sell or buy anyone there. You got 2 players on your bench who are perfectly decent. You know, Arsenal could keep a clean sheet. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Yeah, I'd roll, mate. I don't think you need to do anything with that team. I think it's fine. Depends who your other keeper is. And I'd probably sell a defender, yeah. I'd probably go either Konsa or Porro would be the 2 I'd bring in. If you can afford Porro, I'd go for him. If you can't, get Konsa. Konza will definitely play. The Liverpool second goalkeeper won't. So it's a tricky one, and I'd almost say that. Oh, Alexandru, well, congratulations, and yeah, I hope you have a lovely dinner with your wife, mate. That sounds lovely. Yeah, happy anniversary, my friend, and wish you and her a Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy your meal, pal, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the stream too. I really appreciate your company. So, yeah, hopefully you have a lovely dinner and a lovely Christmas, and I will see you if you're around on Boxing Day. I'll try and get online for a live stream on the 26th. So yeah, have a lovely meal, mate. Take care. Yes, Sajed, I reckon I would almost say that it's not worth getting Contra in for a hit because I don't know. I just feel like the clean sheet could be wiped out so easily. And you may as, like, a defender that gets 0 points is not the end of the world. Going in with 10, I don't think. It's so tough. Would I rather go in for 10? I don't know. It's really tough. Where can you find your ID? So, thank you, Alexandru, my friend. If you go on Pick Team on your browser and then Gameweek History, when you go on Gameweek History, it will tell you your ID in the URL. That's how you do it. So on Pick Team on your browser, go on Gameweek History, and it tells you your FPL ID in the browser. Oh, excuse me. Let's have a look at your ID, my friend. Spaghetti and beans, I sure can. 224 6 995. I would bench Charlie Taylor. This is an interesting team you've got there. I'm not sure I'm looking at the team you described. I think you may have given me the wrong ID. 224 6 9 9 5. That's what's in the chat. Yeah, and I get John Dunn, who has players that you have not mentioned. I don't think that's right. Also, by the looks of his team, he's not actually playing FPL anymore. Love the jumper. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. $6216. Where did you get the wrong ID from then? If you can't find yours, where did you get it from? Spaghetti and beans, mate. You're 6.5k overall, which, by the way, is insane. Congratulations. My transfer would probably be a goalkeeper. I'd consider either Dubravka or Martinez. Which one? I'm not massive. I don't know. But I would definitely consider Martinez or Dubravka in this week. Knowing that Turner keeps a clean sheet against Bournemouth, but that's just the way I'd play it. Did Zuma to Porro? Interesting. Because I think one of Arsenal or Liverpool could keep a clean sheet this week against each other. So yeah, interesting. Fair enough, mate. You're 6.5k overall. So, I mean, you should be telling me what to do in my team, not the other way around. And Newcastle do have tricky fixtures, you're right. So I've already, please retell me, no problem. So on the browser, you can do it on your phone. You go on your browser, you log into FPL. On the pick team screen, you get Gameweek history. And then in the URL, you can see in the bottom left of the share screen bit on here, that's the URL for my FPL ID. And the number that's listed there is your FPL ID. And that's what I search in Draft Hound. So 31782 is me. I search that in Draft Hound, I get my team. So if you tell me your number, that's what I search to find your team. That makes sense? Hopefully. Semenyo or Gabriel first sub? Semenyo. Ben McCrum. Good to see you, mate. I'm not too bad. A bit tired. I've worked all week. Now live streaming. Done 4 YouTube videos. Done all my Christmas shopping. All my presents are wrapped. I've been busy, mate. I played 5-a-side last night. I've got a 90-minute swim training session later. So I'm going into Christmas. I'm going to be fatigued. But I'm good, mate. I'm grateful to be able to do those things. So yeah, I'm good. I hope you're well too. I think regardless of whether... Oh, we've got some Cyrillic. I think regardless of whether this is the team you described, so this is definitely your ID. What was I going to say? Even if Areola is West Ham's starting keeper, right, would you want him in your team? That's my question. I'd probably do Kelleher to Dubravka here because it's the perfect transfer that you can afford. And then I'd consider a hit for a defender, but I wouldn't be massive on it because I don't think there's a defender that can make a hit truly worthwhile for you, if that makes sense. Like, can you tell me a defender you can guarantee is going to score 4 points? Potentially Pedro Porro for Walker. So, but then you don't have enough cash in the bank to make that move. Do you know what I mean? So I think I'd just do Kelleher to Dubravka. Thank you, CFC MK. By the way, for anyone still hasn't seen it all. It's a snowman going down a ramp to the pub. There you go. That's my Christmas jumper. It's the first time I've worn it this year as well. So yeah, feel special. You can feel special being on this stream. It's the first time I've worn my Christmas jumper. I went to 2 meals where I got told to wear a Christmas jumper and I didn't bother. So yeah, you guys are special. You get the jumper. Senesi or Saliba, which should start? I'd go Senesi, I reckon. I can get a Villa defender for 4.6. Yeah, I'd go Konsa, mate. I think we already spoke about that. Dubravka and Konsa in, I think. It makes sense, but you have to question, like, the hit is worth it if you think Konsa is 100% to keep a clean. Like, yeah. In your mind, do you think Konsa is going to score 4 points or more? If the answer to that question is yes, then take a hit to bring him in. But if you don't think he's going to score 4 points or more, then don't take a hit. Yeah, Ben, let me know your FPL ID, mate, and I will crack it in. Senesi or Hwang or Sterling? I'm torn on that, I gotta say. I'd probably favour Hwang, you know. He's at home and he's the penalty taker, so I'll probably say him. Be interested to know in the chat what people thought, but I would probably say Hwang, just because he's the penalty taker. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you reckon. Of course, I'll check out the team, CFCMK. Moo-ha. Oh, I might need a bit more. I might need your ID, because there's quite a few, you know. Ben, that's insane. My ID is 31782. We're almost neighbours, mate. Yeah. I remember you showing me this team. What? Are the Newcastle fans saying that Cher is going to play? I don't think they are they? Oh, if it's about who will play, Konsa will definitely play. No question in my mind will Konsa play. Unless he's secretly injured, Konsa will play. So I'd go for him. They got Isak starting, predicted to start for Newcastle this week. Cher is injured. I was just wondering if he'd have any chance of being fit, basically. God. Is Sarr even a starter for Tottenham? This is really tough, Ben, because it's a question between taking a hit or playing your wild card. When you looked at had a look at your wildcard draft, Ben, did it like fill you with happiness that you want it, or did you think I'd rather not and just take a hit or go with 10? What were your thoughts? Do I start Semenyo over any? You did Haaland to Nkunku. Oh right, so anything you do now will be for a hit. I see. Right, we'll pretend that Haaland's Nkunku then. I don't mind that. Honestly, I've said this to a couple people, but like going in with 10, I don't think it's the end of the world. Like you might have to take a red arrow on the chin, but is that the end of the world? Do you know what I mean? I'm sure that's what's going through your head. Is going with 10 the end of the world? I don't think it is. You'll probably get a red arrow, but maybe you can, take one red arrow to wildcard. Yeah, wow. So Douglas, I don't know if you saw the Twitter chat about it, but Douglas Luiz did a live stream on Twitch last night, and he revealed that Pau Torres is on the treatment table at the training ground, so probably won't play at the weekend. So he's not been ruled out. But yeah. There we go. Nice one, CFCMK. We'll have a look. Oh, there you go. Malvin, he said it. Wouldn't do anything with this team, mate. There's nothing more I need to say. I wouldn't do anything with it. I'd consider starting Nkunku, but over who? I wouldn't actually. Put him on first on your bench, but ultimately, I'd hit Cher out. I'd definitely hit Cher out. Because Cher probably misses 2 games. Oh, that's cool. But then the next fixture is Forest at home. What's Villa got after today? They got Man United away. I'd actually probably hit out Pau Torres then if it's 2 weeks. Because Cher's next fixture, if he's fit, is Nottingham Forest at home, and Villa's is Man United away. So yeah, probably hit out. I'd probably hit out Po Torres. God, it's been an absolute nightmare if he plays, but I don't think he will. Oh, so Sajed, I can't. So the team that I see in Draft Hound is as the deadline was last week. So if you've made a transfer, Draft Hound won't know until the FPL teams fix themselves after the deadline, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm afraid I'll only be able to see the team that I had on screen before. Let me know what you did. Five, 1, 3, 4, 8, 1, 1. Would you change anything? Would be for a -4 again. I can't see the transfer you made. So did Porro for Simicast? Okay. Nah, I wouldn't do anything. I think that's fine. I'd leave Gordon starting, and then if he doesn't play, Semenyo comes in. And likewise, Gabriel comes in for a defender. So, no, actually, no. Yeah, I'd leave it as is, mate. I think you're fine. Oran O'Sullivan. Cristiano Ronaldo. I love that. That's a cracking name. Have you made a transfer already, mate? I would suggest doing Taylor to Porro if you haven't already. Yeah, I like it, Sadio. That makes sense. Did Simicast to Trippier and Son to Richarlison? Ooh. That's interesting, mate. Interesting. I'm not sure I would have done that. Would you get Watkins in for Archer and go through? Absolutely. If you don't own Watkins already, I'd buy him for sure. Start Lascelles or Zinchenko? I think I'd probably start Lascelles. But if it was double Newcastle defence, I'd probably start Zinchenko to spread the risk. I like Porro, Ben. I do like Pedro Porro for a couple of games. You see what Draft Hound is saying? It is next 3 game weeks, but I think it makes sense. So Trippier's got Luton and Forest at home. Porro's got Brighton away next week, so that's not great. It could be Trent, you know. I think it's someone from this list, and then you decide, basically. Unfortunately, no defender has 2 good fixtures. Trippier kind of does, but do you reckon he plays both? Porro and Simicast already. Is it a Newcastle defender? Is it like Botman, who'll probably play both games rather than Trippier? Trippier's due a benching, isn't he, for mistakes and just needs a rest. So maybe it's Botman. Oh, Cortex, you don't need to apologise, mate. You join the stream whenever you like. Yeah, Trippier is on 4 yellows as well, I think. That's a good point. Maybe it's Botman then. You think of all the Newcastle players, if Botman's fit, I think he plays every game. My day's been great. Thank you very much. No worries, everyone. Adam Malone, you find your ID. You didn't disturb me. This is what the stream's for, mate. Don't apologise. You only disturb me if you spam the chat or something. You've been very reasonable, so that's absolutely fine. So the only way you can find it, Adam Malone, you have to do this on a browser. It doesn't work in the app. You go on the Pick Team tab, Gameweek History, and then the URL, which should appear in the bottom right. There you go. So bottom left is the URL. You can see fantasy.premierleague.com. The number on that URL in the bottom left of the screen that you're looking at, it's my FPL ID. And yours, obviously, is unique to you. So if you find on that screen, tell me the number. I'll look at your team. Cortex, let's have a look at your team. No problem. Interesting. I'd probably do Haaland to... Ooh, would I? No, I'd do... I think I'd probably... I'd consider a goalkeeper transfer here as well. You got Dubravka or Martinez potentially. Or click on the points. Okay, I didn't know the points. It's really tough, Cortex, this. What are you thinking? Have you done it already? Have you made a move? This is quite tough. Gotta be honest. Did Diaby to Palmer? I'd have kept Diaby, mate. Interesting. Although I do like Areola to Martinez. I do like that move. I would start João Pedro. His pen taker always seems to get minutes. I would start him. I will do GT. I think he'll play Cortex. I think he's very likely to play. Whose team? Already taken Gordon out for Richarlison. Just not sure who to bench. Yeah, I think that, just imagine Gordon Richarlison. I think this is fine because you don't want to double up on Arsenal defence just in case Liverpool score. So I prefer to spread the risk. So I think this is the 11 with what's his name? Richarlison in for Gordon. I think it will be Cash, Bailey, Diaby. All three of those will play, in my opinion, Cortex. When you look at FPL, Villa, well, it's done now, right, isn't it? So I can't... do you even want to know what the predicted lineup is? Because it doesn't look good for your moves, I'm afraid. So I won't show you it. You can look at it yourself. FPL Villain on Twitter's done it. One, 2, 7, 5. Mate, this team is sound. I wouldn't do a thing. I wouldn't do anything. You got Saliba coming in for Gordon if he doesn't play. I think it's fine. You got 2 frees though. Oh, Gordon to Richarlison then if you've got 2 frees. You might as well do Gordon to Richarlison. Might as well. 10, 6, 20. I'd do Taylor to Porro and then start him over Gabriel. Oh, yeah, Taylor to Porro and start him over Gabriel. That's what I would do. Taylor to Pedro Porro, start him over Gabriel. I'm not sure I'd triple captain Watkins. Not sure I'd be doing that. I think Haaland will have a double game week later in the season, as we all know. And that's the time. It's a great team. Great team. I don't think you need to do anything. Like, this is almost a free hit team. You do have triple Newcastle defence, though. But there's just no need to make a transfer here. There's no need to make a transfer FPL Aguero. Just roll. Yeah, I'd roll. I will look at your team, Adam. Not a problem. 3, 4, 3, 6, 4, 5, 3. I mean, you don't actually need to make a transfer here, in my opinion. Not at all. I think this team's lovely. You're a bit Wolves heavy, but I mean, it's fine. I'm not a big fan of Cunha, I must say, but there's not really an alternative. Oh, Sidemen Shorts, that's such a long question to answer, I'm afraid. Botman started against Liverpool, though, didn't he? No, Botman did start the last game. He did. He did. Whichever was the last fixture that Newcastle played, Botman played in it. Let's see if we've got a... Chelsea, wasn't it? It's Chelsea. If we can get down to the starting 11. Where's the 11? Yeah, Botman started, look. He started against Chelsea. Lascelles is a keep. I think Lascelles plays one more game week and then he probably gets... Well, as soon as Schär is back fit, then I think it's going to be Botman Schär for the foreseeable. But right now, Lascelles is still going to play, especially if Schär is injured. I don't think there's any reason to leave him out. Yeah, Botman got 45 against Chelsea. So, I mean, that sets him up for a start this week, I think. So if he's got a glute injury, it's a pull or a muscle. So it's a couple of weeks at least. Thank you everyone, by the way, who's subscribed during this stream. I really appreciate it. We're nearly up to, well, we're on for 3,000 subscribers relatively soon. So yeah, amazing. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, if you haven't already, although I'm sure you have if you're in the chat because I put it on subs only mode. I figured though, it's a fair trade, right? Just hit subscribe and you can chat to me. That's not, you don't have to pay anything. You just press a button. I think that's fair, isn't it? In that case, Ben, I'd probably sell Schär. I'd probably sell Schär because you look at the Newcastle fixtures, mate, and they are better. I'd probably sell Schär. I probably would sell Schär. Because Newcastle got Luton away, then Forest at home. There's a clean sheet in those two, I reckon. Surely. So I'd rather, the only reason I say I'd just rather bring in Botman than a Chelsea defender, mate. Isaac to Jesus and Kunku or Wilson. I'd keep Isaac. I think he could play. I think he could play this week. I really do think he could play. So Focal was 85, but he's got Simicast on the bench, I'm guessing, but he is still starting. I think Isaac is flagged, but that doesn't mean he's not going to play, you know? The Newcastle lineup predictors have said that Isak's going to play. Yeah, I do think Wilson. So, I mean, the thing that's good for Isak is he can play left wing, where obviously Gordon plays. So if Gordon is injured, Isak's going to play. So I think they could both start. I'm just going to check my messages a second. I'm just going to pop on a different screen. You get the clean sheet odds for 2 seconds while I just check my messages to see if anyone sent me anything useful. No, nothing to share. It could well be Cortex. I mean, I don't know. Almiron can play right wing too. I don't know. I just think Gordon's been good enough and proven that he can play when he's a doubt. So I'm quite happy to start him. Got 20 minutes to go, lads. I might have to shoot a little bit before the deadline because I've got training that I need to get ready for. but I should be fine. What move did I do? I did Reece James to Pedro Porro, because why not? Probably could have done Trent, to be fair, but I'm not massive on it. I did Reece James to Porro. Yeah, I just made sense. And then, I mean, I've got a reasonable bench. Should Gordon not play, so that is what it is, isn't it? I think you should punt for Isaac, Ben, as well, to be honest. Oh, you want to get rid of him, you mean? Or punt on him playing? I think he'll play. Why would you transfer him out, though, ahead of Forest? I don't get it. Oh, captain. Oh, bloody hell, that was big. But I don't see you, GT, I don't see your logic there. Like, Forest is a good fixture. So if he plays against Forest next week, that's good. And then you transfer him out after. I've got a swim tonight, Cortex, mate. Got an hour and a half swim. That should be fun. I have, well, earlier on today, I felt like a bit of a strain in my back. So hopefully that's gone by the time I get in the pool tonight. You don't need any help. This is fine. This team is Juntao. This team is fine. Just roll the transfer. You don't need any help. This team's fine, in my opinion. Don't know what anyone else thinks, but I wouldn't be desperate to make a transfer here. Yeah, I wouldn't be desperate to make a transfer here. Potentially, you could sell Gordon for Richarlison. I'd probably roll it. I don't think you need help. I think you should roll. You got to do both, Cortex, mate. That's what I do. Swimming is good. Gym is good for swimming because the water has 300 times more resistance than the air, so you need to be strong. I still don't understand your logic, GT. And I'm not trying to argue with you for the sake of it. I'm just having an FPL debate. It's not that deep, is it? But yeah, I just don't see why he'd sell Gordon. That logic of Nottingham Forest is a good fixture, so that doesn't add to my reasons to sell him. The Liverpool, Man City, etc. is a reason, but that only works next week, you know. Oh, fair enough, Cortex. That's fair enough, mate. Solanke Mahmood plays. Solanke is the best replacement. I completely see where you're coming from, though, GT. But that's my opinion. That's what the game's all about, anyway, isn't it? People having their opinions and stuff. So if ours are different, it's fine. It just means our teams are different. I definitely play Gusto. Ben's gone. Isaac captain. Who's your vice, just in case? Good lord. No, Mamu played. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Kudus is my favourite of those three, but I wouldn't do it. I'm locked in, mate. This is it. I wouldn't say I'm totally locked on Gordon, but I'm locked on having Watkins captain for sure. Martinez captain, that is bold. I'd imagine also, because I don't have both Son and Salah, that means I don't have to worry about Gordon so much, like costing me a transfer. I'd imagine if FPL Harry has both Salah and Son, that costs 2 free transfers in the future, and that's 2 free transfers you would have if you sold Gordon now, if that makes sense. But not having, I only have Salah to worry about, who's going off to an international tournament, right? So, yeah, I don't have to worry, basically. I'm sound and I'm lucky. Nah, mate. Bowen, the ever reliable. Douglas Luiz or Andreas Pereira? I don't know. What does the chat think? That's my question. Douglas Luiz or Andreas Pereira? Question for the chat. I'll leave that one to the chat. I'm 50-50. See what the chat says. We're all here to help each other, aren't we? Douglas Luiz is the shite, Rayhan. There you go. Do you know who I don't mind? I don't mind John McGinn. How much is John McGinn? I don't mind John McGinn. It feels very rogue, but I just have a feeling about John McGinn. Look at that cheeky chappy. I have no basis for picking him. No basis at all for picking him. I just have a feeling. That's my basis. Or you could go Leon Bailey. Go for Leon Bailey if you can get to Bailey. I prefer Bailey to all of them, I must say. I think Diaby, Bailey, and Cash will all play. Cortex, good luck to you, my friend. I'm desperate for a wee. I need 2 minutes. I've been suppressing it, but it's not stoppable. I'm afraid, lads. I need to pee. I'll be 2 minutes. I would bench Simicast. Game week 20 is the last game week. I believe you can use the wild card. So you can use it next week or the week. Well, we'll check the rules. Let's read the rules. Let's just read the rules, shall we? So you have until Saturday the 30th of December at 11. So that's end of game week. Yeah, game week 20 deadline is when you got to use it by. Because yeah, game week 19, the deadline is then. So yeah, the game week 20 deadline, you have to use your wildcard by here. That makes sense? Hopefully it does. Yeah, this game week here, that's the last time you can use it. It's when Man City play Sheffield United as well, just saying. Just saying, you might have a leaked Man City team by that point. Sorry, Daction. Let's see what I'm doing in my own mini league. Oh. Hello. FPL has crashed. That was interesting. FPL just did a crash then. Just trying to look at my own mini league. You know what? I will take this guy's having a cracker. He's 664th overall. Bloody hell. Fair play. Played his wildcard last week as well. Wow. Me too, Daction, to be honest, mate. Me too. What exactly are you confused about? Because Melvin, best of luck to you, mate. Merry Christmas to you too. Hope you have a good one. And yeah, I'll hopefully catch you on Boxing Day. I'm going to have to stream from my dad's house, which might be a little bit awkward. But yeah, we should be able to do that, I reckon. I've got that in me. Nils, I've got to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I'll definitely do one on Saturday the 30th. Will I do one on Boxing Day? It depends. I haven't worked out my setup yet. Yeah, sorry to not answer your question, but yeah. I tell you what, I am feeling the need for a break. But likewise, Boxing Day morning, not much will be going on, so I'll kind of feel like I want to stream anyway, you know? Just because I'll have nothing else on. So yeah. Although I do need a break. Happy holidays to you too, mate. I will probably do a few less videos over the Christmas break. Yeah. But to be fair, making videos is like my hobby, so I don't need a break from making videos. What is hard is making videos alongside a full-time job, man. Finding the time in the day and like the energy and brain power. It's quite rough. It's quite tough. That's what I find challenging. but I'm just very determined to be as consistent as I can with this YouTube channel. And when I like, I'm absolutely all good, mate. Apparently, who are all these people with their 90% to miss out? Well, I'm based on what, like, obviously I very much respect Planet FPL James and Focal, who have doubted Gordon to start, but we knew they basing it on, really, you know. And by miss out, do they mean not start? Because he could come off the bench. I can imagine it's, hard going, Nils, to manage an FPL team in New Zealand. It must be what, either 7:30, 5:30 or 6:30 in the morning for you at the moment? If you're on your wild card, I wouldn't pick Gordon, if that's your question, Ben. I'd pick Cole Palmer, 7:30 a.m. Cole Palmer, Eze, Bowen, they're all better. Looks like Heisenberg's kept Gordon as well. Focal has kept Gordon. Just going to, before it all goes tits up, just going to tweet. Going to do a tweet if that's all right, lads. Can't type to save my life. Just said Archer to Wilson. No, not worth it in my opinion. No, just because long-term Wilson's such an injury risk. If you have still your wild card to play, then I'd probably do it. But if I didn't, no. But don't do it based on what I think. Do it based on what you think. That's just my opinion. If you're set on it, do it. Don't listen to me. Just checking everything's right. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Me too, Nils. I went Eze when he came back from injury. Then I went straight to Mbumo again. Then he got injured, and then I got Palmer. I can't check your team, Juntao, because it's the deadline, I'm afraid. I'd wait for Eze to put 3 or 4 games together, and that's the deadline. Right, ladies and gents, there's the deadline. I've got to go training now, if that's all right. I've got to put a bag together, pack my bag, and go swimming. So I'm going to go and do that now. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. I'll hopefully stream on the 26th, definitely stream on the 30th, and I will definitely have some videos out over the next week as well. But yeah, goes without saying, thank you everyone that tuned into the stream. We've got like 100 new subscribers off the back of this stream, so I'm just so grateful. So yeah, and really enjoyed it. So thanks everyone for joining. I wish you a lovely Christmas, because I won't be live during Christmas. So yeah, while I'm talking to people directly, have a good Christmas, and yeah, look out for some videos coming from me for Game Week 19. And yeah. I'm going to go swimming now. Peace.